Time now to debate some of the big stories of the week with the Inside Utah Politics panel. This week we have State Senator Dan Mccay and former State Senator Jim Dabakis. Gentlemen, great to have you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Great to be here.
All right, coronavirus strategy. Let's start off with that. The governor rolling out a new one during the week, focusing more on transmission index, COVID-19 transmission index, so it really puts the focus on hotspots. Jim, let's start with you. Your thoughts on the new plan?
You know, from day one, this administration has bobbled the whole process. Utah now, according to the New York Times, is number 4th in spread. It's been a constant rise up. The governor hasn't paid attention. The legislature put together a COVID task force. Their first job, make sure every company in the state doesn't have to care about its employees. We saw what happened in Logan as a result of that at the meatpacking plant. Then they marched forth with this COVID commission made up of not one Democrat, very few medical people, other than people that were with the hospital association. I'm telling you, it's been mismanaged. It's been a catastrophe from day one. They have no plan other than to keep the whiners in Utah County happy, and in rural Utah, lives are being taken because of the constant, horrendous way that the state, the governor, Mr. Cox, as head of the task force, have completely messed up the COVID crisis.
I did not expect him to say Utah County when he talked about whiners in that conversation. I literally expected his long whine to then be ended with whiners like me, but he didn't go there. Sorry.
Well, that's what he was thinking.
Yeah.
And he usually says what he thinks, so I'm surprised he didn't.
Yeah.
Senator Mccay, let's bring you in on this conversation. Some people saying it goes too far, others saying it's not enough. Your thoughts on this new strategy?
Look, what the governor's done is really scientifically backed approach to trying to deal with viral spread, as opposed to trying to attack the wrong animal, which is keeping track of a case number or trying to track other elements. It's really trying to keep track of that transmission rate and increasing visibility on an issue when transmission rates are high. Now, the hard part about this is in the new color code, or in the, I guess, getting rid of the color code system and having the high, moderate, and low transmission rates, the real hard part about that is some of the local control elements and consulting seem to have gone away, and really it's just health departments are going to tell people when and where, and it's going to be based on fixed numbers. Some people are very concerned about that. I'm going to be very interested to see how that plays out over the coming weeks.
Jim, essentially we're seeing more mask mandates go into place, restrictions on gathering. Why is this not a step in the right direction?
Because the fundamental issue is not where the governor is still talking. The priority is with keeping businesses open. The Chamber of Commerce has been calling the shots, and their people all along, when it should be the doctors, the scientists, the medical professionals, and they have been excluded.
No, they've been included. If you look at the CDC guidelines right now, Jim, and you say, look, the CDC is now more concerned about mental health issues than they are necessarily about community spread with the COVID virus.
That's not true.
Which is really interesting when you see research
that
coming
is
out
made up
that
talking
changes
point.
the mental health component.
That is a made up talking point. People are, scientists are more concerned about thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans dying every month.
You missed 1,000.
Not about the side issues. Yep, we're going to have issues with people's psychology through this, but that's not what the issue is. Let's stop people from dying, and Utah doesn't have that as a high priority.
Jim, we know that leadership is going to require a measured approach to trying to balance all the public policies. You can't only prevent death. If we took that approach, we would shut down the highways, because that's where we have far more fatalities than we should. We would shut down schools. We would shut down all things, just trying to prevent death. And I think really what everybody, and you're hearing this throughout the state, everyone wants to find a managed approach back to normal.
And the way you do that is first to recognize that the virus is in charge. The virus doesn't care that you want schools open. The virus doesn't care. We need, if we're gonna get where New York is, for example, with under 1% testing positive, they have, in 20 million people in New York, fewer cases than we have in Utah. This mentally incapacitating Chamber of Commerce approach, which is, well, the doctors are saying one thing, but really, we at the Chamber, we got to keep business going. The way you keep business going is to deal with a virus,
But
and
Jim,
we're not.
you bring up New York as an example there, and even they had to roll back some of their schools opening and parts of the economy. So how long are you going to let this go?
That's my question. We're going to be here in another year with this Utah plan because there is nothing there to do the three things that are necessary. Massive testing. We're stuck at 7,000 or 8,000 a day. It should be double that. Second, getting that positive rate down. That's a killer. We're at 14, 15%. New York, a lot of the other states are at 1%, and that means the virus is lurking everywhere, and we don't know where.
But Jim,
the
we have a
third thing
young
is contract
state,
tracing.
and if you look at the mortality rate among the young, we are seeing that the governor is appropriately managing both. I would not turn this state or its issues over to the Democratic Party at this moment. I got to be honest, the idea of shutting everything down and locking everybody in their houses with some kind of government mandate, it makes me feel very uncomfortable, and I really don't think it's the Utah way. I'll tell you what is the Utah way. Taking a smart, measured approach, trying to balance both, because there's no way this virus is going away in the next 5 weeks.
What about a mask? Is that requiring too much? 43 states, you leave your house, you put a mask on. But Utah, we have refused to do that. The Speaker of the House says, we're leaving this up to an individual mandate, and that's what our whole plan is, the individual mandate. We've ridden that individual mandate down to one of the worst states in the country because we are refusing to accept the responsibility. And why? I think the governor is just afraid of all those fringe people within his party, and he won't face up to the facts.
We've seen mask mandates in Salt Lake County and Utah County in effect right now, and we're still seeing cases go up there, and you can go out and you're seeing people not wearing those masks.
When you have a mask mandate, when that is there, automatically you see masks rise up between 20 and 25%. It's sending the message. On the other hand, when you say, nope, we're not going to have a mask mandate, you are also sending a message, which is, you know what, we're blah, 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 but really masks aren't important. What is the downside of a mask, for heaven's sakes, when requiring one?
Look, I've been in favor for a long time of taking every precaution that an individual can take to prevent the spread of the virus. I think everybody would be there, and honestly, I think it's important that everybody take those appropriate steps for themselves. Trying to create government remedies that then lead to crimes, that then lead to locking people up to try and make a point about a mask, Jim. Look, man, I love you. I just disagree with you on this one.
All right, very strong opinions on both sides of this, definitely. But gentlemen, I want to get to at least one other topic before we run out of time here. A Y2 Analytics favorability poll. President Trump, 52% favorable, 48% unfavorable. Senator Lee, 48 and 40. And then Senator Romney, 45 and 52 unfavorable. What do you make of this favorability poll where Utahns are ranking the president higher than our two senators? Senator Mccay, let's start with you on this one.
Honestly, I think these polls most recently reflect the two senators and their approach to the Supreme Court nomination. I think Mitt Romney dragging out as long as he did, saying he was going to wait and try and figure out what the right thing was to do. I think Utah and most of Utah recognizes this is a rare opportunity for the president to have a full 4-year term, and I think these polls represent that differential, and probably that differential on that issue as well. But you also see Mitt Romney taking a lot of controversial positions that can offend even people in the middle, that I think we would prefer to see our senator take a different tact.
Jim, your thoughts on that?
Well,
Surprised at all?
I think it's kind of fun. I mean, they are losing their popularity for opposite reasons, which is ironic. Mike Lee, in one of the most outrageous pronouncements ever by a Utah senator, said, democracy, it isn't all that good, and there's other ways to get things done. I mean, I don't know where this guy's head is.
Jim, that's not what he said, one. But two, we do not live in a democracy, and Senator Lee was very clear about that. We don't live in a democracy.
Okay, so
the Pledge of Allegiance is really quite clear, Jim. I'll recite it for you in case you've forgotten
exactly
it. But it's we pledge allegiance,
why should we
and
even have
to
elections?
the republic for which it stands.
Why do we
And
have? That's
important.
not what he was talking about. And what? So
It
Dan,
is.
why do we vote for president?
Why do we vote for a
Why should
president?
Utahns vote individually for president? If that is a state choice that the legislature should make, as a republic would have it be, is that just like a preference, and then
No,
the state can decide who they want to?
The Electoral College was set up for a reason, and it's meant to insulate the presidency. And we had a way of insulating the Senate from becoming a democracy as well. We did away with that with the 17th Amendment. All that
right,
aside,
gentlemen,
Jim, don't disperse. Don't try and disparage Senator Lee over
Look,
whether or not we
look
have a
at
democracy.
to tweet
This
yourself.
conversation is just playing itself out. I'm a spectator here on this one, and it's been quite enjoyable, but the time has run out, gentlemen.
Dang it.
Thanks for your
Thanks.
time. We'll have to have you back again soon to finish more of this lively conversation. We'll be right back.
I don't think
with more
he
in
means
City
that.
Hall Politics. Have a good day.